What's up, everybody, and welcome to the newest edition of the Bronx Muchachos podcast, brought to you by the Baseball Banter Broadcast Network. I'm your host, Mark, and tonight we got none other than my main man, Dave. Dave, what's happening, brother?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. And if you're watching us on YouTube, do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, ring the bell for post notifications to get notified when we go live like this. Also, wanted to let everybody that's watching this, I will be on Whatnot tonight at 9 o'clock with my man Roman Rodriguez. We're doing a co-host baseball card auction, all modern vintage, over 1 million cards to sell off tonight. So if that's your game, come join me on Whatnot at Gilly's House of Cards and come join the fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
There you go. Yeah, if you're into cards, man, go check them out. Go spend some money on some graded cards that they got going on over there. But right now we're rolling into the dog days of spring training, or I shouldn't say spring training, but off season, where this is where the news comes to die. All the big moves have been made. A couple guys are left out there, but for all intents and purposes, the Yankees have done all their quote unquote heavy lifting. They re-signed Bellinger, which was the big thing that they were talking about this offseason. And now it's, they're quote unquote challenging trades if anything pops up. So, Dave, I'm going to swing this over to you. I want to pose this question: What do they have left to do? Like, what in your true estimation will they wind up doing, or what is something that they can do to kind of put the cherry on top of this overly exciting winter that they have provided for us?
Well, first and foremost, for our viewers, in case they're confused as to why I'm wearing Patriots gear, yes, I am a Patriots fan. We are in the Super Bowl. Deal with it. I'm definitely happy for Drake May to be doing this thing. As far as this offseason, what's left to do, I really don't see them doing much of anything. We've seen them make a few minor league moves after the fact of signing Bellinger. With the lockout looming in 27, we saw the money they were dealing out before they signed Bellinger. I don't think they're going to spend any more. A trade, maybe, if it makes sense. But then again, we've seen this team do things that doesn't make sense. So I really don't see anything else coming down the pipe. They released Caleb Ort, who they got from the Astros. They released Luciano recently. So I think they're pretty much done. And, pitchers and catchers report the week of February 11th. So, I think we're done. I think this is signed, sealed, and delivered, and just waiting for the injured guys to get back. So, yeah.
Well, they do have one rumored move out there that they would love to do, which is bring back Paul Goldschmidt, because running the same team back last year isn't fully complete unless you bring back Paul Goldschmidt to kind of put the icing on the cake for that move.
I don't like it.
So I honestly,
they had to platoon him last year with Rice. It just, the whole season with him, just, I don't know. I think he's cooked, honestly, and it's sad to say because he's a Gold Glove first baseman. But what I saw last year, when we signed him, they were talking about him being this extra base hitting machine and this and the other. And by June, Ben Rice was taking most of the reps at first base, with Goldschmidt playing maybe like 1 or 2 games a week and pinch hitting. I don't know if he was playing through injury. It's quite possible. But if they want to move this team in the right direction, they need to get younger with somehow getting more experience. And I don't think Paul Goldschmidt coming back gives you that ability to get younger and have these guys get more experience playing different positions. In the case of Ben Rice, he needs to have a full year at first base and be left alone in order for this to work. Let the kid run with it. He did okay. Let's see what this year brings. Work on some stuff in spring training, but he's not going to get better if he constantly has to look over his shoulder at a veteran waiting to come in and play as a defensive replacement in the 9th inning. I don't like it.
Well, what are you talking about? This is exactly what we're saying. They run it back. This is exactly what they did last year. They did this to Jason Dominguez last year. And look what happened.
I don't agree with that either.
Oh, I think that I can't understand I understand what they want to do with having Paul Goldschmidt. It's an insurance policy. It's a right-handed bat that they desperately need because they're not making the trades to get the right people in there for the right-handed bat. So I get it. So last week we had lineups. Can you pull up the lineups for a moment?
Yeah.
So we have it up there when we're talking about this.
I just wanna hit one more point on Paul Goldschmidt. Yeah. Okay. So another reason, like if it was a productive right-handed bat, I'd be on board with this all day long. But they signed him for $12 million last year. If he's gonna get the same deal, that $12 million can be spent somewhere else. Our bullpen, for example, like that's where I'd want to see $12 million get spent between a couple of guys.
I don't think they're going to give $12 million. They'll be lucky if they give him $5 million or something like that.
Getting back to my point, his WAR was 1.2, 489 at bats, 134 hits, 10 home runs, a batting average of 274, 76 runs scored, 45 RBIs, 5 stolen bases, slashing 328, 403, 731, and an OPS plus of 104. I'm sorry. No, thank you. Let Ben Rice take the lead, because if you leave Ben Rice alone to play first base the entire season, the kid is potentially going to hit 30-plus home runs. He is going to be a 30-plus home run hitter with that swing and that power.
Yeah. And at the same, I will say I agree with that, but at the same token, there's two things you got to think about. One, he's not right now, he's not a first baseman. Right now, he's not a first baseman. I always said he can become one. He can become an adequate first baseman, but right now he's not a first baseman. Secondly,
so develop him into a first baseman. That's what I'm saying. Develop this kid into a first baseman and be done with it.
Well, the Yankees have shown that the Yankees only show that they're only the golden boy gets the leash, and Ben Rice actually might be might be the powerful golden boy because they're giving him all they love him. But what I'm saying is this. You have that, but on the flip side of the coin, you also have a catcher that can't make it through a season. Austin Wells goes through horrific slumps. He goes through injury, some sort of injury throughout the season. It happens with catchers, but last year he's dealing with numbness in his hands. So there's a lot of things he deals with as well. So there's chances that Rice is going to has to get pulled back into the catching position. Mm-hmm. And guess what? They have what? They're gonna have 3 catchers on the line.
Escara is still here.
Roster,
so yeah.
With Wells, with Rice, Escara, and they still want to have they still are trying to figure out how to get a right-handed catcher in there. Come on, I mean, I
agree. It's not a good situation. I'm just saying it's not.
If they really want to, and if they really want to do this, what they should do is when they have to move Rice back to catcher because of Austin Wells, you can move Bellinger to first base, and then
give
J-Dom the run that he needs to play.
That's what they should do. They should put Cody at first, put J-Dom in left, and just leave it alone, and platoon Rice and Wells as well.
Put J-Dom in center field. Put J-Dom in center field because that's where he actually belongs. You can move Trent Grisham over to left field because, in all honesty, if they're saying he can't, because you got to remember this. J-Dom came up for the Yankees, and he played center field in 2023. Played center field. They put him in center field, and he didn't do bad at all. Come 2024, no, he's got to go to left field. Inexperienced, one of the biggest left fields you can do, and he failed. And he failed in 2024, but they didn't give him the run. Then they're saying, oh, he's not really a good defender, so we're going to stick him back in the hardest left field that there possibly is, and they continue to put him out there. Then they don't give, and they waited long enough to make the move so that it's either, oh, where am I going to go? Center field, or am I going to go left field? This is where you turn around and say, listen, he's good. He's adequate enough in center field. He can see the ball. He understands the routes and whatever. He was never really a great route runner on defense, but his athleticism made up for it in center field. He can play there. Why are you trying to why are you trying to take a square peg, put it into a round hole? These things do not make sense. Do not make sense with the Yankees. So that
dude, look, if you could look at what they almost did a couple of years ago when they moved Glaber back to second. They were having Gio Urshela test out trying to play shortstop in spring training. I'm like, no. Like, what are we doing here?
They wanted to play him in shortstop. They had to make that roundabout move where what was it? Glaber had to go back to second base because shortstop he couldn't handle a shortstop. And mind you, I will give you this: Brian Cashman, when they got Glaber Torres, he flat out said, "We see him as a second baseman. We don't see him as a shortstop. We see him as a second baseman." They came up as a second baseman. When Didi left, they moved him over to shortstop. You give him the pass on the 2020 season because of everything that was going on in the world.
Yeah,
he didn't get he wasn't properly working out. But 2021, when he came there and he still couldn't hack it there, then they made the move. They made the move real fast to get him out of that position, which, guess what, was a smart move on their part to do. They got him out of there. They moved Gio over, and then they had DJ, and they swung DJ all the way over to third base. It was this one shift over type of move. That's fine. I can, and Gio did adequate enough during that time, and boom, then they moved on from him. They moved on from Gio, but they still do the same thing. They still have people out of position. Right now they're starting. If you pull up the batting order, please, for a second, you'll see that from pretty much the end of last season till now, they never changed anything. If you look at this, is exactly however you want to have the lineup go. You can change a person here, can change a person there, but for the most part, this is exactly how the lineup's going to be, with the one exception of Jose Caballero starting at shortstop this year because of an injury. But the minute that Anthony Volpe is back to being healthy again, it's already been said he's going in the lineup. Jose Caballero could be batting 350 with 20 tanks, 30 bags stolen, 50 ribbies, and he ain't gonna sniff shortstop. He ain't gonna sniff the starting lineup again. And that's the problem, is that they are, from the end of last season, they are running it back, the same thing, and you saw how it didn't work out for them last year. And you would hope that they would then reassess and reconfigure a lineup that had a lot of holes in it. I mean, just looking right now, look at it. You got 1, 2, 3 right-handed bats there, if I'm not mistaken. You got 3 right-handed bats. Even if you swap out Caballero for Volpe, you still got 3 right-handed bats there.
Yep. No
switch hitting bats. No nothing. You have a diminishing center fielder in Trent Grisham that's getting $22.9 million. You got Cody Bellinger, who is as much of a Swiss Army knife that he is. And I like that he came back because he provides defense and he provides a lot for the Yankees. He's still prone for injuries. He still comes in with back issues and this and little knickknacks. You got Giancarlo there, and Giancarlo is good to go down for 2 months in the season. You got Ben Rice, you got Ben Rice, honestly, is a question mark at first base. You got Jazz, because you don't know what Jazz you're going to get. You don't know if it's the guy who's going to try to put 40 tanks in the seats, or if he's going to try to hit 300. Mm-hmm. Got Austin Wells. You don't know what you're getting in Austin Wells. You don't know if it's going to be, hey, this is going to be the month where Austin Wells can see the ball perfectly. He's going to hit the ball, do everything like that, or if it's going to be the one that he can't feel his hand anymore, and he can't hit his own weight. And then you got Ryan McMahon. I'm going to skip Caballero because I said it before, where he's he's the placeholder, because the Yankees have to make sure that Anthony Volpe has the lane above everybody else, which is the dumbest thing in the world still. But you got Ryan McMahon up there.
Tell us how you really
McMahon
feel.
Can't hit for anything, but he can pick it at third. Oh, believe me, I'd use other choice words if El Jefe would let me. But
yeah,
you guys see this lineup here, but it's the same. How they got smacked by Toronto is exactly what they're putting back out there. Same people are going back out there that got smacked in the face by Toronto.
Yep.
That's all I got to say about it. So, yeah. Do I expect them to make another, to answer my question of what's the move to put the cherry on top? I don't see it right now.
Yeah,
I don't see it either. Do see a trade being made, they're trading off a Jones or a Dominguez. If they traded Jones or Dominguez, send them out somewhere because they're not going to get the playing time. Outside of that, there's nothing that they're doing.
And then we saw the rumors.
I'm sorry. The biggest moves are, remember the big moves are coming back are going to be Carlos Rodon coming back, and then Garrett Cole, and then later on it's going to be Clark Schmidt. Those are their big acquisitions that they're going to have. That's the Brian Cashman specialty of those acquisitions are as good as a trade, mid-season trade.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. I completely agree. So I don't know. I don't see anything happening.
No, there's no bench pieces to really be excited for. There's no, I am Ryan Weathers. I am excited for Ryan Weathers. I'd like to see what Matt Blake can do with him, because I think that he's a power left-handed arm that can really provide to the Yankees one way or the other. Like, whether he starts, if he can prove that he's a starter, great. If he can't, you can put him in the back end of the rotation. I'm sorry, not rotation, the back end of the bullpen. That makes the bullpen stronger. He could be an 8th inning guy. He could be a 7th inning guy. Like, you can extend that bullpen a little bit. You can make that bullpen stronger by putting him back there. And then you'll have a Will Warren that will make his way back there as well once Rodon comes back and Garrett Cole comes back. And then when Clark Schmidt comes back, he should go right to the bullpen too. And that makes the bullpen even stronger as well. I think all those guys making the transition into the bullpen at some point will make them stronger.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Other than that, it wasn't an exciting offseason. It wasn't really much to think about. And they could have done a lot more, and they didn't do a lot more. They could have really imprinted themselves on this team, but at the same token, they really couldn't imprint themselves on this team because, contract-wise, Jazz is in his last thing. Ryan McMahon's got one more year after this. Right field's obviously locked in for life. 3 more years of Stanton. You could have done something in center. You could have done something in the outfield with Grisham, but they offered him the qualifying offer, and he took it. And then the big one they wanted back was Bellinger, and they got Bellinger back. Didn't make a move for a right-handed catcher. Didn't add more pieces. Didn't add much more to the bench. They kept pretty much the bench the same. At some point, Oswaldo Cabrera will be coming back, and he'll probably go right down to AAA. So I'm searching for answers, and I'm searching for the silver lining on what can happen. These guys, they must be betting on the fact that they're going to have these guys, a bunch of them are going to have career years, or they're going to have continued years like they had last year. They're betting on Trent Grisham putting 30 tanks up there. They're betting on Bellinger almost putting 30 tanks up there. That's what they have to be betting on. Jazz.
What else could it possibly be? What else could it possibly be at this point? So, no, we'll see. I'm not going to hold my breath this season like I have since we started doing this. So I'll let it play out, and it'll probably look like a car accident in slow motion.
I'll say this, man. I was happier to watch the 2023 season, even though they didn't make the playoffs. God. But the injuries derailed a lot of them that season for them. But at the same token, I was excited for that season. Man, I am not. I don't know why, man. Actually, I do know why, but I'm not. I don't have that warm and fuzzy feeling. I don't have that. Oh man, I can't wait for opening day. It's gonna.
I know why it feels. I know why you feel like this, because they didn't show that they were even trying. You know what I mean? Like at off seasons in the past, like they made big time offers to big time players, and they just got outbid, or they decided that they wanted to go play for another team for less money, whatever the case may be. But at the very start of this offseason, like, they gave off the impression through their actions of just signing handfuls of minor league guys that they weren't trying. And they put all their eggs in one basket on Cody Bellinger instead of seeking to replace him through other means. So, I mean, hell, you could have got Schwarber. You could have put Schwarber at first base. His 50 some odd bombs would look real nice in Yankee Stadium. So there was ways to replace Cody, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, hell, you could have even gone and gotten Alonso if you wanted to.
You could have replaced Cody.
I know nobody likes the thought of the idea. Right-handed bat with power. I mean, first baseman. You know? And I think Mark froze. Yep, Mark froze. He froze there for like 20 seconds.
I'm back.
Okay.
Oh yeah, gotta love modern technology. Gotta love it all.
What else we got? What else we want to talk about? This one's gonna be a short one tonight. So,
well,
unfortunately, not much news out there.
You know what? Yeah. Not much news except he's finally. Looks like they're stopping the bleeding on the debacle that's the international market that they had. Like they signed Mario Garza as international director. He has a lot of he's a scout at heart, so that's first and foremost. He does all that kind of stuff, which is great because then he can evaluate the talent that they have or that they have their deals with. There's a lot of bleeding that needs to be stopped. You know, this year they lost Wandy Asijan, who was one of the top, if not like the second best, according to some prospect. And that's because Danny Rowland was let go and no one could really assure some deals and some extra money that was happening. Is what it is. Next year, they already lost their main guy, Myron De La Rosa. He was part of the class. I think he was like top 5 in that class.
Mm-hmm.
They tried Yankees were nickel. The interim guy was nickel and diming Myron, and they were nickel and diming somebody else. I forget the guy's name, but the second person actually came back right after Matt Garza was hired. So Matt Garza has a lot of relationships with the academies in Latin America.
Mario Garza.
Am I saying Matt again? My apologies, Mario Garza.
Oh, I mean, he would have been great to have back in the day, man, when he was in his heyday with the Rays. I mean,
we had, it's funny enough. We had this. Yeah, they had this conversation. I kept calling him Matt Garza the entire time too, and I'm such a doofus for doing it. Mario Garza, but he speak. You know, one of the big things is that he's a talent evaluator, speaks Spanish, which is great. Has been down in the DR, working out of the DR for it at their academy down there. So he's boots on the ground. So hopefully, I don't know how many people have been there watching social media recently. The Yankees have a kid who's supposed to be a beast coming through in 4 years, right? So we're looking 4 years down the line. Known about the kid for over a year. Some really good guys that I talk with. They told me about him, and the kid's supposed to be legit, and he's young, but the talent's supposed to be there, and it's just going to get better and better. But you can't really talk about. You don't want to talk about a kid who's 13 years old getting the amount of money he's projected to make, and things can change along the way. But if Mario got his name right finally, sorry about that, Mario. If Mario will turn around and keep the relationships intact and hopefully forge new ones, then I think that the international side will get back to where it was before. But other than that, man, this is like Dave said, it's a short one. There's no news. Pitchers and catchers are coming. What's February 7th? Oh, February 11th.
Yeah, that week. Yeah.
Well, go to that weekend. Go to George. Dave's background right there. Go to George M. Steinbrenner Field for Valentine's Day with your loved ones.
Yeah.
They'll have. So I'm freezing up all over here. Dave, why don't you send us home?
Yeah. So thanks again, everybody, for watching. Sorry for the delay last night. We were going to try and go live last night, but we were dealing with some issues internally with one of our social media accounts that got hacked. And so that was a pain to deal with, but we got it straightened out. So we're back on TikTok. So check us out there, Instagram, and check me out tonight on Whatnot at Gilly's House of Cards, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Massive modern vintage card auction going on with Roman Rodriguez. And we'll catch you here next week. So till next time, peace. Go Patriots.